It's been several weeks since the case of Shanquella Robinson has been at the forefront of the media. And while most people would say they've seen virtually everything about the case, new updates just keep hitting us, and now it's happened again. But this time, the update basically provides us with a timeline of the businesswoman's life before disaster struck. Not just that, but it also gives an inkling at which of the Cabo Six might have had a hand or even been responsible for her ultimate demise altogether. And let's just say nothing could prepare you for the reality that these new updates have come with. Interested in knowing these extensive new details? Then stick around with me on this till the end of the video. As of a couple of weeks back, the Shanquella Robinson case was considered an unfortunate accident, and while many people still hold that notion, recent revelations have shown a pattern that implies her friends might have had a hand in her death. And in the spirit of recent revelations, a couple of news have now come out about her life. As you just saw, that was Shanquella hanging around some of her friends, and even though they all look happy, it seems they might not have been too happy that she was doing a lot better than most of the people around her. But even besides all of that, the video shows the businesswoman in a new light, a light that everyone can clearly see just how happy she is. However, this isn't even close to the only new video of her from the past that has come out. I mean, just look at how innocent she looks. It just seems heartbreaking that someone who was only focused on her business and being happy could have been attacked in such a brutal way. It's more painful because she wasn't just hyped like that when she was on her own, she was also just as excited when she was with other people, case in point being her best friend, one of the Cabo Six. Here, you could see just how excited she was even around her friend. However, the theory that's been flying over social media, backed by some of the shady details of the events that led up to her demise, have revealed that her friends might have been more than actively involved in the unfortunate event that led to her death. In fact, this theory has become more and more plausible by the day, especially considering that her own sister confirmed that she had the exact same opinion. Specifically, Shanquella Robinson's sister, Tequila Long, said friends lied to her family about the details surrounding the 25-year-old's death from the very beginning. As previously reported, Shanquella passed away last month while on a trip to Los Cabos, Mexico, with a group of people she believed to be her friends. A day after arriving in the popular tourist city, she was found unconscious in their rental property. She died soon after. Long confirmed with news outlets in a November 30th interview that her sister's friends, specifically her boyfriend, had spoken to her and her mother, Salamandra Robinson. In her words, "I was believing the dude that she went on the trip with because that was her best friend. I didn't think that he would be malicious about anything. I didn't think that he would tell us a lie. I trusted him." That was Long referring to the foul play that was made by Shanquella's alleged best friend. This in turn led people to dig up details from the businesswoman's past, one of which is this video that seems to feature her actual friends, as opposed to the Cabo Six, who have only raised more questions than provide solutions since the whole thing got out in the media. This is one of the many reasons her sister Long has been pretty vocal on where things still stand with the investigation. More specifically, amid conflicting reports about the state of the investigation into the death of Shanquella Robinson, her sister took the time recently to set the record straight while also addressing what her idea of justice looks like for her sibling's mysterious death in Mexico. Willa Long spoke out in no uncertain terms days before a rally was scheduled in Robinson's North Carolina hometown to demand justice for her 25-year-old sister's October death in the resort city of San Jose del Cabo, for which local authorities have reportedly issued an arrest warrant. But Long contradicted widespread claims a while back on social media that anybody was arrested, according to reports from local media in Charlotte. No arrests have been made, Long told reporters recently. Long suggested she had been advised against divulging too many details into the investigation but insisted they're working on it. As far as the penalty goes for her sister's death, Long was clear: everybody being arrested and doing time in Mexico. Everybody being extradited over there and doing their time there. That would be justice for us as of now. I mean, it doesn't really take a genius to figure out why she's so angry about this. Because besides the fact that she lost her sister, she and the entire family feel betrayed by Shanquella's friends. And rightly so, because many of the recent updates that have been coming up have proven that there might have been some bad blood against her from her friends. You see, apart from the fact that Shanquella made freshman princess in her early days in school, the businesswoman was also homecoming queen, class president, and still managed to finish at the top of her class. Now, considering that her friends from then are still the same people as now, it checks out that they might have been jealous of how she always made it a point to stay at the top of the demographic wherever she was. And even her sister knows it. and it seems Long just might get her extradition wish against her sister's friends. Speculation has run rampant about Robinson's death after a widely shared video purportedly showed her being brutally beaten by another young woman only identified as one in a group of friends who traveled from North Carolina to San Jose del Cabo for a vacation. At least 2 people filmed the violence, and one male voice can be heard urging Quella to fight back. It was the unnamed friends who contacted Robinson's mother to claim her daughter died from alcohol poisoning on October 29, according to a Mexican autopsy report. However, Robinson's cause of death was severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, which effectively means her vertebrae were dislocated to lethal proportions. Robinson died within 24 hours of arriving to Cabo. Mexican authorities said last month they identified at least one alleged suspect and issued an arrest warrant to have an unnamed friend of Robinson extradited and be charged criminally. The arrest warrant explicitly said Robinson was the victim of femicide. This case is fully clarified. We even have a court order. There is an arrest warrant issued for the crime of femicide to the detriment of the victim and against an alleged perpetrator. A friend of her who is the direct aggressor, Mexican prosecutor Daniel de la Rosa Ania reportedly said, "Actually, it wasn't a quarrel, but instead a direct aggression. We are carrying out all the pertinent procedures such as the Interpol alert and the request for extradition to the United States of America. It's about 2 Americans, the victim and the culprit." Excerpts from a police report claimed a doctor from a local hospital was with Robinson and her friends for nearly 3 hours before pronouncing her dead. The friends all left Mexico without Robinson's body, which was recovered by her family weeks later. Also, a couple of weeks back, news hit the media that Dejani Jackson, one of the friends who accompanied Robinson to Mexico, was taken into custody. The report claimed Jackson was arrested on the night of November 28 by Interpol agents and placed in federal custody while awaiting the beginning of her extradition process to Mexico. There is a legal precedent for a U.S. citizen to be extradited to Mexico to answer for criminal charges. The extradition treaty between the United States of America and the United Mexican States dates back 45 years and was ratified in 1998 by President Bill Clinton, who said it was meant to enhance cooperation between the law enforcement communities of both countries. Meanwhile, Robinson's hometown has been rallying around her and demanding justice in an effort that is set to continue later in the month. This whole case has gained new international recognition as more people have now been actively talking about the story, and for many of them, her friends might soon face the law. Specifically, one user wrote, "Shanquella Robinson friends just casually flew back to the USA after being part of a murder. Like y'all seriously thought you would continue with your normal life and no one would care about her. SMH, bring your supposedly tough asses out of hiding and face the music." Well, the user does have a point, but we'll wait for the law to seal the deal. That's it for this video. Goodbye.